Hello, Munch here. Welcome to another episode of my FM19 Aston Villa save. It's not just Villa anymore. There have been big developments off of camera. One of those being I am now England manager. Yes, unfortunately I did record it, but the audio on my feed corrupted. So all of the footage, I can't show you any of my actual talking, but it was late at night. I was just whizzing through the games as I was going. We were in a pretty good run of form, and out of nowhere, there came an offer for the England job. Gareth Southgate retired during the World Cup after England's exit in what I believe was the quarter-finals. We can tell from the schedule here. So you can tell England were doing okay in the World Cup. 4 wins from 4, one of them on penalties as well against Italy, but then got knocked out by Sweden in extra time to go out of the World Cup quarter-final stage. Very disappointing for them, and Gareth Southgate left after a pretty successful tenure where he himself actually managed to win the European Championships 2 seasons prior. So as you can tell in the actual World Cup itself, Spain won 1-0 against Portugal in the final. But we are going to be focusing obviously on England, and as you can tell, we're actually ranked the best squad in the world. So not winning the World Cup is a little bit of a gaffe on Gareth Southgate's part, but considering he brought the first major bit of tournament prize in terms of the European Championships to England, I don't think we can complain too much about how good he is. It's hard to see what happens now with the save in terms of how I split this up, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is splitting these up into 2 sort of like different saves but running parallel to each other, because obviously I know not everyone's going to be interested in the international side of things. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll keep the Villa save going, but then obviously when England comes along I'll have to record those and then run the series along separately, if that makes any sense, because I can't go too far into the future in the Villa save and then just do a England series afterwards, because obviously players are going to come and go and this, that and the other, so I have to try and do them linear, if that makes any sense. But I'm very glad I took the job. If it hadn't been any other international if it had been any other international team other than England, I probably would not have taken it. So I'm not going to go into too much detail now about all the players and this, that and the others that we've got, because I'm going to save that for the first episode of the kind of England series, as it were. So back to the Villa and how things have been going off camera. So you can see why I've been offered the England job, really, without blowing my trumpet too much. But since the last time we met, which was a 0-0 draw against City and obviously losing against Leverkusen in the Champions League, we went out of the Champions League. We went out pretty convincingly as well. Only 2 points from 6 games. Just kind of went to show that we're not really ready for that yet. Bayern and Madrid both qualifying from that. So since those 2 results, we beat Newcastle 3-2 in the Carabao Cup 4th round, then got a credible 0-0 draw away at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, lost 4-1 to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. That was a bit humbling. Then won a number of friendlies that we had over the Christmas period while the World Cup was going on. Beat Watford 2-1 in the FA Cup 3rd round, then drew 2-2 with Monaco in the Champions League. A 0-0 quarter-final defeat on penalties to Cardiff was probably the low point, but since then we have bounced back and won 4 games in a row, most notably smashing Leicester 5-0 in our last outing off of camera. And I think I finally found the place for Robert Navarro, who's been playing at an 8.36 average rating in his last 5 games. 5 goals and 1 assist. The boy is just absolutely on fire right now. I've got him signed up to a new contract where he has a £60 million release clause to any team in the Champions League. I'm hoping that no one's going to trigger that, but if we do, we're obviously going to make sure we get the most money that we can for him. The tactics are very similar to what we have been playing. It's just a standard 4-2-3-1. But I've actually done some personalised ones now and let him more off the leash and let him free roam, and he's starting to tear teams completely to shreds. Jack Lancaster's got himself back in the goals. Player Maria and Gaitan are finally beginning to contribute on the wings, and yeah, I think we've also stumbled upon a partnership in Rudiger and Mike at the back that seems relatively solid. So all things are looking up. There's also been some transfer business as well. Harry Winks has gone to Derby for £15 million. A bit of a shame, brought him in and he did really well and played very well for me actually during his time at Villa. Got 2 goals and 44 appearances, but actually his overall rating was probably the best thing about him. He usually played at quite a high rating. You can tell that when he first came in a 7, then a 6.95 last year. Only had 1 appearance for us this year, so which kind of shows you just how far from the tree he kind of fell in terms of the pecking order here. Bought him for 12.5, sold him for 15, so made a £2.5 million profit. He's not done anything for Derby yet in 3 games, so I'm sure he'll be a good player for them. So to replace Harry Winks, I brought in Ross McCrory, and for those of you who know him in real life, he's a Rangers player. He stayed with Rangers until 2022 in this save. Obviously, he got signed for City, then sent back on loan to Rangers for a season. But he played 8 appearances for City, then got put on the transfer list. So obviously, a squad player that was never going to cut it there. I managed to pick him up for only, I think it was £12.25 million. So we still have some money left in the bank, and there's one more transfer I'm going to try and make before the end of the window. which means that today we're probably only going to have one match, because obviously I've covered quite a lot in this this little kind of exposition bit, if you like, as it is already. He's already played one game for us, playing very well, and he's a good solid defensive midfielder. I'll go back to his stats here. You can tell mentally very good, physically absolutely excellent, and technically not bad. I was 17 passing, 16 tackling and 15 heading at 6 foot as well. He's a bit more of a powerhouse in the midfield, so hopefully him and Goretzka will link up quite nicely together. He's still only 24, so a lot of potential there. Today we've got a game against West Brom in the Premier League. Our records are actually quite even, although we've got the majority of wins. We've played them a lot in this save. 7 times to be exact. My maths is terrible. West Brom won 2, we've won 4, and we've also drawn 1 in those meetings. Obviously met them up quite a lot while we were in the Championship. We are on the back of 4 straight back-to-back wins and a draw, and they are currently, they've got 1 win in 5, so expect a home win today. In terms of the lineup today, then we've got Kalinic in goal, Reguilon, Rudiger, Mai, and James Bree, who's taken over at right back duties for the time being because he's finally hitting a little bit of form. MikeRo will make his full first team debut as in his starting debut for the team today, alongside John McGinn, because Leon Goretzka is carrying a little bit of a knock. Pelé, Maria, Navarro, and Gaitan are our midfield three, in behind Jack Lancaster, who's back amongst the goals. And it's a little harsh on the rest of our forwards here. You can tell all our forwards at the moment are playing at an over a 7 rating. On average so far in this season, so actually firepower wise we're doing very well. It's not the forwards' fault, it's more the supply that we can't get to them. They're lining up with the 4-3-3 system. Ryan Kent there over on the left. Fofana's a good player as well, and Dem has given me quite a few problems so far during the save. He doesn't look brilliant, but he's very effective during the game. Florian Andone is also a player who consistently scores against me, so let's hope we put that to bed today. A 5-0 win against Leicester, so I expect nothing but a win from this match to keep our run going, and I just want to have another performance. In the Leicester game we were literally on fire. It finally felt like everything clicked into place and we just started to click through the gears and start building up towards the end of the season. We've had a little blip and a bit of inconsistent form so far over Christmas and just beforehand, so I'm hoping that is over now. We can get a good period of form into the back end of the season and make a good push for the top 6. And Reguilon picks it up. Now we've got the ball. John McGinn here. What's he going to look for? Finds McCrory. He's playing in the box-to-box role today. McCrory back to McGinn. And McCrory again here. Back to Pelé Maria. The other reason I saw McCrory as well is because if I was getting rid of Harry Winks, I needed another British player. And he just seemed to fit the bill. There was a guy called Jack Shackleton, I think, from Leeds, who I was interested in getting. His Gaitan plays a great ball over to Jack Lancaster, and he's missed. Nick Pope with a very good save. Jack probably should have finished that, and in the form he's been in, he should have. It should have been hitting the back of the net, really. Dem now's got a little bit of room, which is always worrying. Finds Yelavoji, obviously an ex-Villa player. He was only with us for a season, but still an ex-Villa player. Fonsu Mensah out here on the right-hand side into Shop, who seems to be kind of conducting the play a little bit. That's a nice ball from him to Fosu Mensah. He whips it round. Ryan Kent at the back post, and it's 1-0 to the Baggies. And they've probably been the better team, actually, in all fairness, right at the start of this game. It is a derby, so kind of form does go out the window a little bit, but I expect better. And James Bree's been caught out again there at the back. Just as he started kind of getting his form a bit more together, he just lets him go. It doesn't see Ryan Kent. He's a small man, Ryan Kent, and Bree should be doing better. He's on his haunches, you can tell he's annoyed. I'm annoyed with him. Not good. It'd be so like me to have had such a good little run of form, then go on camera and lose first time up. It would be just very me. John McGinn over a free kick. Hits it. Oh, just over the bar. Our little Scottish wizard in the midfield, though, doing very well. Forgot, actually, him and McCrory means that we have an entire Scottish middle two now in the midfield, so they should get on very well, being the same nationality and around about the same age. Half an hour gone. We haven't really done a lot in this game so far. I'm getting a little bit upset. I'm going to take us off Be More Expressive. We're going to go to the shorter passing, play out of defence, and see maybe if we can just pass them to death here and work our way into something. But Ryan Kent over a free kick. This is dangerous. Fofana, no one's picked him up. Is he going to get a shot away? No, great tackle by McCrory. This is why I signed him. Now he breaks away. His physicality is going to be so useful for us. Don't shoot. Oh, shoot, McCrory! What a goal! On his opening debut for his first start. What a finish. That is an absolute rocket from our brand new signing. Off, mate. It's a run and a half as well. This could be a goal of the season contender. Yes, it's from a corner. He doesn't have that many people to get through. But it's... Oh my god, he's absolutely spanked it. What a goal. And in the derby, that's an incredible goal. That's an incredible goal. As Lucas Mai finds McCrory. Come on. we can turn this around and get to 2-1 up very quickly, I'll be absolutely delighted. MikeRo, who's already becoming my favourite new player after that goal. That was an absolute belter. She is a belter. Gaitan, great ball, looking for Jack Lancaster. He's in. Jack tucks it away. It's his 16th goal of the season, and him and Gaitan are starting to link up. That's about the 3rd or 4th assist that Gaitan's provided for Lancaster over the last 5 weeks. And from being 1-0 down and not creating a lot, we're 2-1 up in the blink of an eye. The firepower is nuts. It's such poor control there from Kipre in the middle of the park. That's such a poor touch. Oh dear. Can't believe we've done that just before half time. I was wondering where it was going to come from, in all honesty, but we've got so much talent now in the team that I feel that we can score at any given moment. This would be an important win as well. As you can tell, we were 6th in the table, but a win here today takes us above Wolves on goal difference, and that would be a big thing actually. Above Wolves, above Chelsea. We're already above Wolves. I'm going to passionately say to the boys, I'm happy with the way you're playing so far. Keep it up. That was such a better performance in terms of the second half of that first half. The first half of it, we were pretty poor and didn't really offer anything. But that second half of it, much, much better. And McCrory's having a blinder at an 8.2. Fantastic stuff. Now, first half of the second half is Fosu Mensah throws it to Shop, but he doesn't win it. Reguilon does. Now John McGinn there, tucking up nicely. Finds McCrory. He's been given a bit more license to roam. He's more of a defensive player, but I've given him a bit of license today. He go out there and stretch his legs as Jack Lancaster gets played through by Gaitan. Maybe he could have taken on his right rather than his left. It looked like he hit it on his left there, but didn't open his body out to bend it into the corner. Not a good finish from Jack. John McGinn, though, on the ball here, whips it in, looking for Gaitan. I don't really know why. Rudiger out to McGinn. He's got a second chance to whip it in. Navarro, Rudiger. Oh, what a goal by Antonio Rudiger! It's a day of absolute rockets. That's his first ever goal for the club, and what a finish. Superb. And Robert Navarro gets an assist as well for that. Not sure if you can really classify it as one. We'll see. Good patient play there by Rudiger in the first place. Navarro takes a great touch. That can't really be an assist. But keeper's stranded. Doesn't even see it. What a finish. This is the Villa team I remember from last year. The fact now that we're winning away from home, we just needed to get a bit of consistency and start, just winning the odd game. It didn't even have to be like a smashing. We just had to grind out some performances and start turning draws into wins. And we started doing that. And now the confidence is flowing as Gaitan whips it across the front of the box. And Jack Lancaster makes it 4. He's on a hat-trick. And him and Gaitan, I can see it now. For a few years, this is probably going to be one of the best winger-to-striker partnerships, potentially in world football. If not Lancaster, then definitely Play-Doh. It's annoying because obviously Jack's so good that I kind of want to give some of the other forwards a go, but it's a bit like having Harry Kane in your team if you're Spurs. I mean, you just can't take him out, can you? You just can't. Gaitan over a free kick, whips in a ball, looking there for... Gaitan, he's got a third goal. Terrible commentary. I was trying to figure out who the number 10 was. Realised it was Navarro, but by that time, Gaitan had already walked in, and it's 5-1 in the derby, and we are now absolutely flying. This is the Villa I wanted to see, and I have missed so much. Lovely tip by Gaitan. No one gets near him, and a lovely tucked finish into that far post. Mwah, it's magical. I'm finally feeling like the cogs are turning, and we're turning into the team that I was hoping we would be this year. And it's just taken us a little while getting through the Champions League games and realising we're not quite up to that standard. This is the time now. I'm not sure if I'd want to qualify for the Champions League again. I don't know. 3 minutes of added on time and a 5-1 thumping it looks like for the Villa. And what I'll probably end up doing is that we'll probably... Oh, hello. Gaitan whips it in, or he's looking for Navarro again. Lucas Meyer on the ball. Are we going to make it 6? I don't think so. Villa are on fire in the second half. We certainly were. A 5-1 thumping of our nearby rivals, West Brom. Passionately, I'm very happy with the result and the way you played. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. I'm off. Finally. What I'm probably going to end up doing is I'm going to try and get to the start of the Norwich game. Or I'm going to try and get the signing that I wanted to get done out the way. I'm hoping that he'll sign for me. One player I am looking to get for next year, and I know he's a bit of a football manager favourite, is Svetslav Markovic. He's got a release clause of £45.5 million, and I do want to get him. I don't have that money in the bank at the moment. I can't afford his wages either. But he is definitely on my summer transfer list, so let's hope I can bring him in. At the moment, though, I'm feeling I just need one more sort of cog to the attacking formation. Alright, so it's transfer deadline day, and I'm still waiting on news on the signing that I'm trying to make. I don't know how long this one's going to go on, but there it is. It's actually come in, and yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Memphis Depay, now 28 years old, an elite attacking midfielder. I love our midfield. The one position I'm still slightly unsure of is our left wing with Peleo Maria. I love Peleo, and he's getting better on that left wing, but I think to loan in Memphis Depay for 6 months on only 44k a week, and it's not really costing us anything, I think is an absolute steal. So we are going to get him in. Adarabioyo is going to go off to Burton Albion for the rest of the season. He'll probably go at the end of the season. But I have signed on loan Memphis Depay. He's rated up to 4 stars, an important player in his prime years. He might be just what we need to either get us back into the top 4 places, which I'm kind of trying to avoid, or at least into Europe. It's going to be very, very exciting. So, I think that's got to be it then for I know it's not the end of deadline day yet, and we've got a game against Norwich, but I'm not going to play that one on camera because this episode's probably already gone on quite a way as it is. So, what we'll do is we'll look at where we come back. Now, considering where we are on the table, and we're 6th and we're doing okay, I think we've got to start looking at maybe some of the more difficult games against the teams that are going to be in and around us. So, when I look at that, part of me is thinking that we might have I don't really want to do the Chelsea and Arsenal games because the FA Cup isn't really on my radar at the moment. Yeah, we'll come back for the Tottenham and Cardiff games actually. I think that'll be quite exciting when we get there. So we play the whole of February where we have Derby, Wolves, Arsenal, Crystal Palace and Southampton. I think if we have the Tottenham and Cardiff games, that'll be a good place to come back and see whereabouts we stand in the league there. Like I said, at the moment we're in a very good run of form, and I don't really want to do anything to affect that. We seem to have kind of been boosted by the fact that I'm now England manager. I don't know what, but ever since I took the job, like we've literally just been, the players just raised their game no end, and it's been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry there's not been as much gameplay. It's been a bit more of a kind of behind the scenes one. And just obviously with the major developments of England and signing Memphis Depay. Highly exciting. Hopefully he'll make his debut and he'll get a couple of goals or something during his time here. It'll be great if he can, just to get us pushed over that line to secure European football for next year. Let's hope so. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And until I see you in the next episode, stay cool.